we're women, and at the end of the day, we will figure it out no matter what. Hi everyone, it's Mahsa. Welcome to our new show here on Big Time Hank's channel. I want to introduce you to my good friends.
Hi, I'm Alex.
And I'm Tati.
Today we're gonna get to know each one of us a little better and talk about some topics that I think we'd find interesting on our channel. Just give a little flair to Hank's channel and make sure.
Give a little estrogen to Hank.
Yeah, estrogen, get to know everyone in the family a little bit. So, yeah, stay tuned. I guess we'll start with a little further introduction to both of you. What do you guys do for a living? And, how long have you lived here in Vegas?
Okay. So again, my name is Alex. I'm a clinical professional counselor. I also have a specialty working with people with ADHD and neurodiversity. I'm an ADHD certified clinical services provider. I've lived in Vegas for, oh my gosh, almost a decade now. I love it here. I am from the cold of Chicago, and I still practice in Illinois as well. I practice in Illinois and I practice here, but I'm much happier living in the warmth of Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm Tati, and I am a dentist. That is how we all met. I'm actually a cosmetic dentist. I do concierge care here in town. I've been here. My husband and I moved here about 7 years ago from Los Angeles, and it has grown on us. Vegas has a scary way of doing that, and so we stayed a lot longer than we thought we would, and we love it now.
It's awesome. Yeah, I don't know how I met both of you. I think I met you through Instagram. Yeah, and I think both of you actually.
Yeah, our other business. Yeah,
your other business.
I'm also a business owner in other facets as well. So that's how we originally met.
That is crazy. Now that I think about it, it's just
I know.
My little circle in Vegas is just a bunch of amazing people, and glad we could all come together.
I feel like it's the way people meet these days is mostly on social media.
Yeah.
Especially as an adult. It's hard to meet people otherwise.
Right.
I think that's really, really true. I talk to clients about that because, sometimes when you're going through life changes, you need to make new friends, and it's kind of hard. So where do you do it? Social media actually now is kind of the way, I think.
Also, I feel like it avoids the crazies, because if you see, some mutual people, you're like, all right,
It's a little better.
this is somebody worth maybe getting to know a little bit, because otherwise you go out and you meet somebody and they turn out to be some weird psycho killer.
Yeah.
I've been watching too many Lifetime movies, so my mind goes.
Well, for me, I love looking up a new service or new business I want to, it's nice to have social media to just kind of creep on before you go. You're like, okay, I know what I'm signing up for. I like their work. Okay, I'll give it a try. But sometimes that could also be deceiving too. Sometimes you go get in the service and it's not the same as
it's not what you're expecting.
Yeah, so it's two sides of it. So
yeah, you can really put what you want there out on your social media page and make it look a certain way. So do have to be careful.
Yeah. I don't know. The older I get, the less I want to post on social media for me.
Absolutely. Joe and I were talking about this yesterday. We're like, what is reaching the ultimate level of success? And we're getting to a point where you've achieved whatever goals, but you now can be completely private and don't have to put your life out there. Because I feel like for a lot of us, we use social media for work reasons or for whatever else like that. But I think at the end of the day, the goal, at least we feel this way, is just to be able to live your life and not have to post anything online and just do your own thing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. That. It's hard. It's you have to market, yourself to a certain level. And I have a lot of clients that we discuss that with too. It's how do you keep up with the social media? Because it's a lot.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah, it really is. It's a lot of effort.
Speaking of, you added an extra person to your wedding just for the reels, right?
Yeah, because I know I'm not going to do it. I know, like, I don't want to put that on anyone else either. Like, here's my phone, take reels all day. So we ended up just having an extra photographer just for social media perspective. But yeah, that's really exciting. I do want to share our wedding with my followers, and I have family in different countries that follow me, so I wanted to make sure my photography and videography is top notch, and I'm really excited to work with our photographer, Renee.
He's so good.
He's amazing.
So good.
He's based out of LA. And yeah, his work is just beautiful. And he did our engagement shoot, so if you guys get a chance to stop by our social medias platforms, you can see those there. But yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Can't wait for your wedding.
And
in
hence, the
general.
wedding's 21 days away, people. Are you guys ready?
So ready.
Yeah.
Kind of ready.
Napa.
Yep.
Kind of ready. Almost ready.
I know. I feel like it's crazy. I didn't think I would have the jitters like so far out. I thought maybe like the day before or the day of, but like honestly, it's getting to me. I didn't think it would be so.
Well, I feel like the bar is set pretty high for this wedding, and I think we're all so excited.
18 chandeliers.
Don't tell the people yet. Damn.
Giving away the secrets.
Secrets. But I hope, I don't know when you're going to post this podcast, but I guess they'll know. But yeah, so what are some of our goals for this podcast, our platform we're creating here today?
I definitely want to use this to empower women, right? Send a message of a women's empowerment and talk about like different life stages I think would be important. We're kind of, all working to establish ourselves and kind of talking about what that looks like over time and how that changes. You're younger than we are. Like, I know that at your stage of life, at your stage of life, I feel like I was just like starting my life. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I learned everything about myself in my 30s, really.
I know I will. I feel like in my 30s, like I learned a lot in my 20s, but my 30s is when I'm able to put things into action. Mm-hmm. So I'm like really looking forward to having this knowledge going into my 30s, and then hopefully Jonathan deciding to retire, I will have a little more stability to actually put them into work. So yeah, how about you, Dr. Tati? You're starting a new clinic. Not a clinic.
Yeah, the office, the new office, the new practice.
New practice.
Yeah, we're so excited. We just got our space finally after so many things falling through over the last 2 years. When we met, we were getting ready for that space at that time. Mm-hmm. And then long story short, now we're finally building our office, and I'm so excited.
I think everything happens for a reason, especially with your story.
I think so. And that's why I think
gonna be the best.
Thank you. And that's why I think like podcasts are, especially ones like this that are about female empowerment, are so huge, because I know over the last 2 years I had some pretty stressful days where I was like, oh my goodness, nothing is working out, and you just feel like the biggest failure and like an imposter, and then you feel like you're alone in a lot of things, and then for me, there were certain, podcasts and things that I would listen to that were especially geared towards women. And I'd be like, you know what? I feel like everybody's going through something, but people don't talk about it as much. And so it's helpful to go to a place where you can hear other women kind of talk about what they're going through, how they paved the way for themselves, how they fought through those challenges and were able to still build whatever their dreams were.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for this podcast that you're putting together, because I think that there's definitely a place for it, and I think that there are a lot of women who want to be able to hear and relate and feel like they're not alone in whatever struggles they're going through, and just know they're all human. And,
I love it. I love that we have this community.
Exactly. Yeah. A community that can rely on one another to go after what they want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, me, you did mention I am the youngest of the two of you, but I love that. I love having like strong women to look up to, smart, educated. My sister, I wish she was here today. She would fit right on this couch.
She's a firecracker, your sister.
She's a go-getter. She's fierce, for sure. And like she's always been like my role model going up. Like, all my siblings, pretty amazing to have, to look up to. So yeah, I mean, just finding that comfort in the both of you, knowing that I could have some inspiration is amazing. So good job so far. Career paths are amazing. You're great people at heart also. So
Thank you. So are you.
glad we're all here today. So thank you. Yeah, let's dive into some like lighthearted stuff. How about what's everyone's like zodiac sign? I'm kind of big into the zodiac.
We are both.
We are both
Capricorns.
I'm a December Capricorn, though.
I'm a January Capricorn, super ambitious, like money.
Like money very much.
Because we like to be able to provide for people, you know, like deep down at a Capricorn's like core is being able to love others and to give everything that we have really to others. So that's why we want to work really, 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 really hard just to be able to give that out to other people.
I agree. For me, it's like always to have live a comfortable life. I don't have to live like a flashy and whatever life. I just want to make sure that till the end of it, we're okay. We're gonna be fine as a family, and my kids get to live a quality life. So that's what's important.
I think that's why I am so drawn to the two of you, because my mom's a Capricorn.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So I love her, obviously.
And you're a Leo, right?
I'm a Leo.
Yeah.
And we have that kind of same drive and passion and
Definitely.
strong personalities, in common.
I haven't met a lot of Leos. Like all my friends are either Capricorns or Aries.
Oh, no way. Oh, Hank's an Aries.
Hank's an Aries. Jonathan's an Aries. My best friend, she's an Aries. My college best friend, she's an Aries.
Oh my gosh.
My high school best friend was an Aries.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so it's like...
So you're really drawn to Aries.
I'm really drawn. Like all my Aries are going to be at the wedding. We should have like a section just for them.
A lot of big personalities coming out.
Yes, and then like Alex is a Capricorn. I do have one best friend. She is an Aquarius. She's a curveball.
Oh, yeah.
I love her, Maisha. Hey. She's one of my bridesmaids. So yeah, she's a water sign, and to the T, she's a water sign for sure.
There's some balance in there somewhere.
Yeah, you know, I'm so earthy. Her, I look at her, I'm like, okay, yeah.
Wait, Capricorn is what kind of sign?
Earth sign.
Earth sign. Okay, so Earth, fire.
Okay. Aries
are fire too.
Aries are fire signs.
Aries and Leos are super similar,
Yes.
personality-wise.
Well, I think that's why.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe
What
that's
is
why.
Joe? What is your husband?
A Leo.
Oh, you guys are both
whoa.
Leos?
I know, which is a really dangerous mix.
Dangerous.
Because we're both very passionate people.
Yeah.
But when we don't agree, it's like two bulls coming together.
I can't imagine.
So, yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. Aries are definitely like
Yeah, they're like strong-headed. Yeah.
strong-headed for sure, stubborn.
Stubborn.
And then, well, I think we're stubborn too.
Well, we won't. I mean,
I don't think we're ever wrong.
Capricorns are called goats for a reason.
I don't think we're ever wrong.
We're
I
the
think
goat,
that's
right?
Yeah, we're the
we-
goat for a reason. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's my problem is like I don't think I'm ever wrong. So why would I apologize? You should apologize to me. Period. Even if I'm wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I've actually been working on that.
Working in progress.
Working in progress. But yeah, I love being a Capricorn. I really do. Like, I really think I fit the description to a T. Like, everything I say, I'm like, oh, wow. Like, and that's crazy to think, like, a star has so much effect. Like, the solar system has so much effect on who you are.
I think everything. Well, I don't know. I think I don't know. Are you, maybe both of you are much more religious than I am, but I'm definitely energy-based. I love, working with the energy of the earth and like connected to that. So maybe
I
that's
think that
it
all
for
goes
me.
hand in hand, too. Like, I think faith and, like, energy are kind of, well, not the exact same thing, but I'm saying, like, they all stem from
Your beliefs.
Your beliefs, yeah, right. So
Do you know astrology? Like sometimes I hear people talk about astrology, like Venus is in the house of cards and the sun is rising in the left field, and I don't know, like I don't know what any. Do you know what that means?
I don't know about.
I think it's the different positions
positions.
of the moon, like, or
The planets.
The planets,
Yeah,
yeah.
the entire
But
solar
I don't get that deep into it. I just read my horoscope, and it just sounds like my day.
This sounds about right.
This sounds
We're gonna
like
go
me.
with this.
Yeah,
Confirmation bias.
yeah.
Fulfilling prophecies.
Yeah.
Literally. But I do, besides zodiacs, like I do have this weird thing about me. Like it's been happening to me since college, and it's like, I don't know what it signifies, but I always see the number 922.
Oh, numerology.
Yeah, numerology. I don't know. I don't even know what it means. Every time I look it up, it says it's an angel number, but then I'm like, what is an angel number? You know? Whatever.
Like somebody's like a guardian angel
Yeah,
is
like
around.
I'll
That
literally
kind of
see, like it's just random. Like let's say I'm walking my dog. This has happened. Like in college, I was walking my dog and he stops to use the bathroom. The house he stopped in front of
thing. Is 922.
922 is the number of the house.
No
Or
way.
like a car will pull up in front of me and their license plate is 922. Or I'll literally, it started as I would catch the clock on 922 twice a day.
Yeah.
Like every day. That's how it started. And then I don't know if it's because my mind is just like now looking for it or picking it up, but it happens on a daily. Like it just happened, when was that, Friday? Like a car pulled in front of me.
With the license plate?
With the license
Yeah.
plate.
That's your number.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, like I think some like divine intervention, I don't know. Something going on in the universe. I don't want to get into that topic though. So, so here, let's see. Let's talk about some of our like values and what we find important to us.
Do you want to start?
Ooh, this is a big one. I
This
don't
is
even
a
know
big
where
one.
to start.
I can start.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
go
feel like you're
ahead.
a good one to start with.
With this, I really, really care about how people treat other people. I want people to be able to have open minds, which means that other people can express themselves like how they want to. It's really important to me, just being able to have an open mind and let people live how they want to live. Doesn't really impact you if you really think about it. The only person that you can change is yourself, right? So
Yeah.
other people, ultimately, you know, how much are they going to matter in your life? Well, how much you let that affect you.
We're like seriously like twins in mine, because that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. I feel like if someone's not doing something directly that's going to affect your life, like you can't give your, energy to it. You just can't. Like you're just gonna end up being miserable yourself. So for me, if it's not something personal, I don't take it personal. So I think a lot more people should live like that.
Yeah, and spread more love and like positive energy, because
Yeah.
that will come back to you. Coming back to what I was talking about before, like believing in energy. If you're a positive person and you're out there to do good things, why wouldn't that come back to you?
I feel that 100, because good things keep happening to me. And I'm like, hey, it's because the hard things I went through them with grace. So
Right.
I always give myself that bit of clap, pat on the back about, because I've gone through some hard things and I just never let it change me and keep getting blessed. So yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
because look what you could have done. You
Yeah.
could have crumbled. You could have been bitter, mean, rude to others. But why? Like, why would you want to bring that upon yourself? Every time that you're rude to somebody else, like, that's not bringing you up.
Yeah, no, it does nothing for you. It just honestly, like if you're around educated people or people that are in tune with reality, I feel like that kind of just shows you to other people who you really are. Because if you don't have the level of maturity to sit back and say, hey, this isn't my battle, like this isn't how I conduct myself, then you don't have to worry about it. But having that mental clarity is not for everyone. They
Right.
don't have it.
Well,
so
yeah,
you
that's
just gotta kind of tune into it, I guess. My best advice is really focus on you and like your people, your family,
Right, and the things that matter.
Yeah.
Like, if something really matters to you, then put energy into that. If it ultimately isn't going to affect you in your life, let it go. Like, focus on being mindful of what we have. here and now rather than things that we missed out on in the past.
No, exactly.
Why be depressed about that? Or like what's going to happen in the future? Why be anxious about that?
Yeah, see, I feel like I'm still recovering. I used to have like a lot more anxiety about the future, but I had to like take a real good look at myself, hold a mirror up for myself and say, hey, do you want to live your life like in anxiety of either what happened in the past or, you know, what's going to happen in the future? Like you can't, or are you going to live happily in the moment, enjoying every day and like choosing to be happy, you know? Like, cause it's a choice. You could wake up miserable every day and choose to have a bad day every day because how you're choosing to look at like, oh, this bad thing happened to me, you
Perspective.
know? It's your perspective. And then your whole day is ruined. Let's say, even if you're driving and like someone honks at you, or you could just carry that the whole day with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, or are you gonna be like, okay, things happen for a reason, just move on and like just continue to have a better day. So
And think about like compassion for others, you know? I think that's one of the things that's missed a lot of times nowadays is that
you don't know what
people
someone
are
else is
so
going
worried.
through.
Yeah, so worried about me. Okay, that's fine. You should worry about yourself more than anybody else, but you also should not let that impact other people, you know?
Yeah.
And like take it out on other people.
Yeah. What are your views,
On
your
that-
values?
Well, on that, I remember this is something I actually struggled with because I am somebody who typically will hold on to things and then I'll play it back in my head a million times and scrutinize how and what and
You're
what
an
I should have said.
overthinker.
Yeah, I'm such an overthinker.
Yeah, me
but then
too.
somewhere along the line, I've read something about the 5-minute rule. So if something's not going to matter 5 minutes later, don't spend, or 5 years later, don't spend more than 5 minutes thinking about it. I think that's what it is.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
And so
good
that
advice.
helps me a lot because sometimes I really catch myself, you know, I can get really upset about little things and hold on to it and I'll let it ruin my whole day. And I'm like, hold on a second. In the grand scheme of things, is this going to matter?
Yeah.
And no. And trying to think of things from somebody else's perspective has been really helpful for me also because I'm definitely a grudge holder.
That really does help get rid of some of the bitterness.
Yeah,
letting
it
that
does.
go. When you see somebody else's perspective, it does help a little bit.
I wouldn't say I'm a grudge holder as in like everyday type things, but I feel like friendships, if I feel like I was a good friend to you and you wronged me, there's no coming back.
Yeah.
Like at all. Like,
Well, that's because back to Capricorns.
yeah, it's a Capricorn thing.
Yeah, we give so much. As
We give so much and we don't expect anything, but it's like you guys, like the friends that I've fallen out with, I've fallen out over like fundamental things. Like it's never been like misunderstandings or things. It's just like you really showed me as a human
Who you were.
and you can't change and I won't believe you. And so I won't give you the chance. So yeah, I'm like really content with the group of women that I have surrounded myself lately, and I haven't had to deal with that kind of drama for a long time. So
I think that comes with age.
it comes with age and maturity. And
Yeah.
You are who your friends are.
birds of a
You
feather
definitely
flock
are.
together.
Yes.
It's very true. So, I mean, when I met my best friend, I just knew she was my type of gal. Like, I just knew. And she's always just been so kind and so genuine. And, like, I have never had a friend like that till I met her. So,
She is the sweetest,
She
yeah.
is. She makes me realize, like, what true friendship is. And then here I go meeting you two. We have the funnest times together. I love it. I love when we're all together. Like, these are my besties here in Vegas, so they feel like home for me here. None of us have family here.
No.
It's literally just us. We are family. Our game nights.
That's a lot of time. A lot of times in Vegas, people, move here. It's a transient place.
It's such a trend. You
Yeah.
literally took the words out of my
Yeah.
mouth. Yeah.
So, you make, and, that's where, for me, that's where like Vegas Strong as a message comes in. It's a community message,
Yeah.
about where you can find your community and what your community does for you. So, I don't know. I've definitely found amazing friends here.
Yeah, I'd say too. I mean, just everyone Hank and I have met together. It's just been, I never thought, because when we lived in California, literally, like, none of our neighbors would talk to us.
No?
Like, no, it was just Hank and I going to do things by ourselves for, like, that whole season. But it was fun. It was good because it was the beginning of our relationship and just really focused on each other. And then we moved here, and I think you guys probably were one of the first people besides Kathy and Judy who helped us purchase our home in Vegas, and they've become great friends, family, like, you know, business partners. So those were the first people. I think Alex and Trey were probably like right there at the beginning, you know, when we got pregnant. That's when we first started. But we didn't get cool till like really we moved to this house.
Right after the baby, right?
Yeah, right after the baby. So that was cool.
What year did you guys move to Vegas? 2020?
2019.
But it was December of like 2019. We bought the house like December 30th.
Okay.
Literally. So 2020 is when we moved. We were the first people from the Raiders to move here to Vegas.
Okay.
And then we were here, and then COVID happened in March, right? Yeah. So we were already here. COVID happened, pregnant. Then we were like, our house there isn't safe for a baby, because we literally had these like floating stairs, like rocks in the middle of the house. Like, you remember that?
Yeah.
It just was not. And like this, it was not baby proofed. Like the floor were like, what kind of floor would you say that is?
It was some kind of like stone,
it's
like marble.
Like marble,
Yeah.
but it's very slippery.
And it was like a marble floating staircase with no
definitely not for a
just
baby.
sharp
Not
ends.
for a baby. No.
Literally, Hank took a chunk out of his knee out, like on those stairs. Timmy was there. That's a different story. He witnessed that whole thing. But yeah, he like took a chunk out, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's no way we could live in this house with a baby.
No, not with a baby.
And like, I didn't trust myself with a baby because our bedrooms were upstairs and the living quarters were downstairs. So I was like, I don't trust myself with a baby coming down the stairs. No. And so we started looking around. We actually fell in love with a house like right down the street, like one neighborhood over. And it was like an older house. It was built like 2004. And we would have had to like completely renovate. But it was fine for me because their backyard was just so beautiful. Like, I felt like I was in Italy. That's what it felt like. Yeah.
Which is rare for Vegas, by the way. So,
yeah, very rare. It was like a Spanish style home, but it was like older, you know? And I didn't love the floor plan of the actual house, but the yard, I was like, oh, this is it. And so we did put an offer in, but the realtor told us that there was already an offer in it, but we put more money down than the first offer to like kind of be like, hey, we're going to pay you more for it, so take our offer, you know? But they ended up going with the first offer, which was less. And I'm like, okay, whatever. What's meant to be will be.
Now you have this beautiful house.
So then, yeah, like I kept searching, and then I was like, wait, these are brand new houses. We actually toured the house like down the street, like next door actually, before we were like, oh, what's this one? You know, it looked bigger. So they're like, oh, it's actually available. We come here. It's the biggest lot in the neighborhood. That's what we need, like with all of our dogs. I was like, I want a big yard. That's why we didn't choose to go to Summerlin, because there was no yard space in Summerlin or Henderson. So yeah, when we saw the yard in this house, we're like, yes. Moved in here, literally. Yeah, I love this house. It's one floor, no stairs.
no stairs to topple down with the baby.
Yeah, but our new house has stairs, but she's older now, so and that's another challenge for the next baby.
Are you guys putting an elevator in your new house?
No, who do you think we are?
I mean, I don't know.
Lord. We're building it.
That is a Tati question.
That is a very Tati question. As we have more of these podcasts, you will get to know that Tati lives a very grand life.
In my mind.
In reality.
Tati's pretty glamorous.
You're the most glamorous Middle Eastern woman.
Collections of hats and wigs.
So yeah, oh wait, we didn't talk about this. So one thing me and Tati have in common is that Tati is Armenian.
Yes.
And I am Persian.
The Middle Eastern connection.
Middle Eastern. I just love it. I just feel like her and her husband are like my cousins. And when I go over to their house, we're like drinking tea and coffee and
Reading the coffee cups.
reading the coffee cups.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I like just love that. I just feel at home with you.
Feels cozy.
I love it.
I know. When we moved here, we met you, when did I meet you? 2021?
2021.
2021.
Yep. After the baby.
And we started hanging out probably towards the end of that year. Mm-hmm. And we moved to Vegas mid to end of 2016. Mm-hmm. And the first few years, we didn't really have friends here. We knew people here and there, but we didn't really hang out with anybody, you know? And I think it felt so cold to us. And to some degree, we're like, well, at some point we'll move back to LA just because that's where all of our friends and family were. And I think really meeting you guys and having that kind of, like, we have so many similarities because of the cultural things. It's been really nice for us also because it feels like there's a level of home here. Yeah, it really does.
And we both love to host. Alex likes to host too because Alex is the first one always here helping me set up. So
I'm a helper.
You really are, and I never have to ask her. She just does it from her heart, you know. Yeah. So I love that about you.
Well, and I think that's I don't know, culturally, you know, like I said, I'm from Chicago, so like I don't know, I spent every Friday night in a Turkish club for like multiple years. It was called Arkadaş, which means friends. So
that's another thing I love about you. You're well-rounded.
I just love
want to learn more about
cultures.
The cultures
I just love
around
cultures.
the world.
And I don't know, it's really important for me to, as a clinician, you know, to understand other cultures. You know, it's not really relevant and important that people, what do I want to say? Like that they can, oh, I lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
Cut it out.
Edit that part out or don't. It's okay. We just go with the flow here. So yeah, what else is on here? It says, what's something in your life that was difficult and how did you handle it?
Tati?
Oof.
Definitely the last couple of years, you know, because I had been working here as a dentist for about 6 years and I started to get, like with anything, you want to start to have your own freedom and you want to do things your own way. Once you start to get really comfortable in a field and you have your own vision, you want to do things the way you want to do them. And so about a couple of years ago, I started to say, okay, I'm ready for my own space. And I thought things were going to work out one way and they really didn't. And it was every difficulty and roadblock that you could imagine coming your way came my way. And it gave me every reason to think I shouldn't be doing that. I should not be pursuing my own thing, or at the very least, maybe I shouldn't be in Vegas. And I really did. I started to like explore other options at one point. Thought about moving to Miami, you know, because my mentor and my friends are there. And I was like, well, maybe this is the time in my life to do that. And then I feel like there was a good 4-month period last year where, was it last year, 2022? Yeah, it was January of 2022 that I completely quit my job. And I was like, I'm just going to focus on my own thing. And then when things didn't work out in that timeline, I was like, oh man, I prematurely quit. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. And I was going, oh shoot. And there was about a 4-month period where I was probably the most stressed I've been in my life, you know, or I, thankfully, knock on wood, growing up financially, it was always difficult, right? But once I started working, I never really felt that until beginning of last year where I completely quit my job. And I was like, oh man, I quit that and I took on a huge financial burden because now I have employees that I've got to pay and I've got to make sure certain things are happening in a certain way. And for the first time in my life, I personally felt that kind of burden. And I was like, oh shoot, how am I gonna deal with this? And so that was probably, and trying not to let people onto that was a really hard thing, you know, because you have to...
Yeah, for your business's sake, you have to keep your composure.
You have to keep your composure, and for your team, not to panic or think, you know, you have to keep your composure. And so that was probably really hard, and trying to keep the focus and keep that vision strong during that time and make sure that you can still work and still have that grace like you talked about and not feel pressure to have to do things that you don't think are ethical or don't agree with to be able to compensate for that time. I think that was probably the biggest struggle. And then figuring it out. And I really believe things happen for a reason, and I think last year taught me that, because I never would have thought my career would have taken this trajectory if last year didn't happen the way that it did, and it made me think that things I wouldn't have thought of, like the weird hours that I work and the weird, like all the weird stuff that just happened by default has made so much sense and has kind of pointed me in this direction of this is how things are supposed to be, and it's really worked out for the best.
It's supposed to, yeah.
Yeah, and then the end of the year came, and I looked back and I said, this is one of the best years that I've had professionally. And I was like, but I was stressed as hell for 4 months.
But it's worth it, right? And everything
Yeah.
that, nothing good comes easy, and so you gotta always remember
It was
that.
so hard, yeah, and like you really, perseverance, I think, was like the one thing that I really learned from my own experience last year, is that things can get really hard sometimes, and I'm not a person who does well with uncertainty. Like, I need to know when I wake up in the
Type A.
So type A.
All of us.
It's horrible, right? I think I'm shortening my own life because of this.
The stress.
Yeah.
The stress. You really are.
But like, and it's such a hard thing to let go of and be like, okay,
So similar to my sister.
something's
I
gonna
swear.
happen. So I think learning that and understanding that sometimes it's okay to take a step back to be able to go 10 steps forward, that's okay.
Part of that, I think, is a growth mindset and having a growth mindset. I think that's really pivotal. With growth, with change, growth comes change, and that's scary.
Yeah.
It's really frightening to have change, what it might be, when we get comfortable in a situation, even if it's not a good situation. This could be relationships and work, career, and things like that. If we've been there for a while and we are comfortable, it's difficult making a change, even if we're not in a good place.
That's what it is.
But having a growth mindset, being able to be open to different
Adapting.
challenges, and abundance coming into your life. It really is. It's about opening that space for things to come into your life. And you did that. And it was really, really stressful. But look what happened. You have now this abundance of exactly what you could have imagined, right?
It's so different than what I would have imagined, but it's worked out for the best. And that's what it is. You see all those quotes on like Pinterest and Instagram, and it's like, I don't know, mindset and this, and when times are and you're like yes, but then it happens, you're like, oh shit, this is actually really hard, and I can't really stick to what these quotes are saying, even though I know I should. So learning to actually live those things
Apply
it and apply it, yeah. I think that was, for me as an adult, the first big challenge that I faced.
Well, you handled it with grace.
Thank you. Still learning.
No, you're doing great. Honestly, we're so proud of you, and we look forward to your new office.
Thank
and
you.
the aesthetic. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Just as
gonna be
amazing
very
as
topsy.
her. It's gonna be
very tossy.
There will be no elevator inside, though. You know what's so funny? Before coming here today, I told you we were meeting with the interior designers, because the ceiling height is so high in the space, and we're dropping the ceilings down, there's enough space technically to put in a second story. We're not doing that, but we're like, but what if we put in a hidden speakeasy upstairs?
Oh, that's so cool.
Like the prohibition times.
Could you get it licensed? You have to get a liquor license
I mean, you're not selling, you're serving.
for free.
For free.
Okay. Like a little
Does
bar
anybody
for your
want
clients?
to attend Dr. Tati's Speakeasy?
This week. Yeah.
What should we call it?
I don't know. What should we call it?
The Tati Lounge.
I don't know either.
We'll just think of something when it gets
Please
close.
leave in the comments what
Yes,
you would
any
like Tati's
suggestions?
Speakeasy to be called. Thank you.
It's like, imagine the end of your appointment. Door drops down and you just like stairs come out.
After the amount of gases that you said were going to drop down from the ceiling, I don't know if they should go upstairs and then have cocktails.
You gotta give them a nice aesthetic cocktail there.
Yeah.
How about you, Alex? What's something difficult you faced that you think, and how you handled it?
Really, like I was talking about earlier, just like figuring out life. It was really a challenge for me, figuring everything out. I felt kind of like I had to figure everything out by myself. I have ADHD, so it's like learning to navigate the world and understanding what that means, right? And it was really a challenge. I did not figure it out until I was much older. I had people like helping me through things. My sister She's a corporate lawyer, amazing. You know, speaking of older sisters that are amazing, she just helped me through things and trying to figure out life along the way. But I went through a lot of struggles to really figure out who I was and, you know, really own that. I think that was like my biggest struggle, really owning who I am and not allowing like other people to tell me who I was.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad you had the capabilities of having that self-realization.
Yeah,
and like
finally figuring it out.
doing it for yourself, you know, and that's one thing like I always want to like clarify, like for anyone wondering. So I feel like if you don't want to do it, no one else can help you. And it's like that mental battle, like in your mind, that other voice in your head that tells you you can't. You have to really like look at it and say, hey, yes I can.
Right.
And I'm going to. So, you know, like it's like having to really like have an internal battle. I feel like you are just so comfortable living life how it is, and then like you get set in those ways, but you know they're not right, you know they're not healthy. But it's like, what are you gonna do to change that? What are you gonna do to change your bad habits? And I think that's what I've gone through, like just throughout my relationship with Jonathan and becoming a mom. And I don't know, it's a lot. I think my most difficult thing is becoming a mom. Like, it was a shock for me because I've never been around babies. I never really understood like what really goes into it. So, and at the same time dealing with postpartum depression and anxiety. Those are real things. And I didn't think I would be the one that's gonna be having those thoughts, but you really do have those thoughts. You don't like the way you look, no matter, you know, what anyone tells you. You're like, my body's changed so much. And I think that's like, you don't have the confidence you used to. And, you know, he did a great job as being an anchor for me to always like remind me, hey, like, yes, you are still, but it's a mental battle, like to get that you have to pull yourself out of. Like, it's only your choice. Like, you could sit here and listen to everyone's advice, whatever, but until you win that battle in your mind that you are going to do differently than what that negative voice is telling you, then no advice matters.
Yeah.
No matter what.
You got to work through it and really understand, you know, your worth
Yeah.
and your value underneath those things.
Yeah, I think that's what's been happening for me in the last year. Like that, like,
To start to own that.
yeah, starting to own my,
Yourself.
I don't know, myself, yeah, good and bad. So, let's take a breath.
Accepting our flaws.
Yeah, accepting your flaws is difficult. And then, like, you know, you have to really, for me, it's like, okay, I'm a mom now, have a little baby, like, that's looking at me, and, like, you know, we don't live the most conventional lifestyle either. Like, you know, as I'm finding solidarity here in Vegas, you know, he gets a call that he's getting traded. So it's like, I just thought we were finally getting, like, you know, the chance to be stable. But, you know, it was the best career move for him. He's finally, like, shining, and I will follow that man wherever he goes. So, yeah, for me, I don't mind taking the back burner. But as a person, for me, like, as the person I am, I know, like, I want a career. Like, I want to flourish myself, you know, and not just depend on him. But it's really hard for me because I've worked since I was like 14. So it's like for me to like not be like in my career like full time how I want to be, like it's very hard. It's a mental battle for me because
I admire that about you because, I mean, you are a mom. Like, that's obviously why I'm not a mom. I work 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. When could I be a mom? But that's something that I chose. You know, I chose this. I chose like a working lifestyle. So I definitely admire people that can be a mom. I just, you know, I don't think I have it. You're like in between, you know, super career oriented. Now you're, you know, deciding about that.
Think about that. Yeah. And I really don't know. I relate to both of you so much because I feel like you and I are so similar currently in where our lives are. And I see so much in you of where my life is headed. And I'm like, how is this gonna work? And it's hard, like I don't know how working moms are another level of superhero, and it's hard. But I feel like between you and Jonathan, there's a very strong mutual understanding that right now is his time.
Yes.
And it pretty soon when he's done, it's your turn is up.
That's very clear.
And Miliana will be at the age at that point where you'll feel more comfortable leaving her and focusing on your stuff at that time.
I know that you are considering, going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you can talk about it.
For like advice is like, it does look hard. It is hard.
It's so
not
scary.
just looking hard. It really is the hardest thing you will go through. But it's like so worth it at the end of it, It is worth it. And like your career, you might take a pause on it or whatever, or you might just have people that you trust. You still, you'll figure it out. I swear you will. Like, you'll figure out the balance because I feel like that's what I didn't have. I didn't have a chance to start my career. So now you have something established. It'll be easier for you to take a little break from it to go back.
Sure.
It's a lot harder to establish something while you have a million other things going on, that you don't have the time to focus fully on it. So for me, I really need the stability to be able to fully commit to it. So I think for me, it sounds scary when I talk about having a baby. I don't want that to deter you though, because we're women and at the end of the day, we will figure it out no matter what. So don't let it scare you to the point you're like, I picked my career over being a mom, because I definitely do believe in strong moms that have big careers too, just as big as their husbands or whatnot.
Or bigger.
Or bigger.
Or bigger.
Look at Beyonce.
Or look at all the
Beyonce.
Boss single moms out there too. You know what I'm saying?
My mom.
Your mom.
Yeah.
I was raised by
yeah.
a single mother, and she worked 3 jobs while I was a baby, growing up.
The
so
story
strong.
of your mom was so inspirational to me. I loved when you told me that.
Thank you. Honest to God, I think that she is the reason that I turned out this way, because I saw somebody who worked so hard all day, every day, 6 to 7 days a week. And
She poured into you also.
Yeah, and there's no reason, you have no excuse not to work hard when you see that in front of you as your example every day. And so, it's definitely, I think what you said is absolutely right. When you become a mother, you find a way. Yeah. And somehow there are more hours in a day at that point. You make it work. I don't know how, I'm not a mother yet, so I don't see it. But
well, one thing oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
I did it, Timmy. One thing for me is like, I wish that I was a lot more, I guess I gave myself a little more grace during that time, I was really hard on myself, like when I first had her. I think the first year I was just, it goes hand in hand with the depression and anxiety, because I just felt like I wasn't doing enough. Like just being a mom isn't enough, like for me, I was like, I should already like be flourishing as a realtor out here and give myself the grace, to actually enjoy like those first few months with my daughter, because I had so much anxiety about what the future looks like. Because like for me, my future has always been, okay, you finish real estate school, go get your license, start. But it's like every time I get to that point, it's like something happens and life throws me for a curveball.
You have been interrupted.
I've had a lot of interruptions in my path, but I wouldn't say they're bad interruptions. They've been the biggest blessings of my life. First being so the story goes, I was in Dallas. I had just finished real estate school, like all my courses, gotten all my certificates to turn in to take the state exam. And that's the month that I began seeing Jonathan. And once I started seeing him, I was traveling a lot. I was going to see him there, he was coming to see me, a little bit of a distraction. And then he asked me to join him to live with him in California. And I'm like, heck yeah. And I just was like, okay, well, when am I gonna live in Dallas again? Why would I need a license in Texas, right? So then the plan was, okay, we'll live this short period in California. Once we move to Nevada, I will go to school there. Literally, I was in school in Nevada. We moved in January. I started school in February, like the last week of February. And then, boom, COVID happens, shut everything down, no school. Literally, a month later, find out I'm pregnant. And I'm like, gosh, this just keeps, because I'm like, okay, like I'll just do the online school. And I'm like, oh, now I'm pregnant. I want to sleep all day. And so like 9 months go by and then have the baby. Now I have anxiety and depression, breastfeeding, struggling to breastfeed. Yeah, just kept throwing me for a loop, you know, and they're not excuses. These are like just real life things I kept getting hit with, and my mental capacity, I just didn't think I could handle school, or even if I did go to school, I wouldn't, you know, be fully in it and fully invested. So, yeah, took the time I needed, and then finally, once I did finish school and once I did I got my license the first try. Like I passed both my tests the first try.
Which is not that common here,
Which
right?
is,
right.
Yeah.
It is, but it's not. But like, it's a big accomplishment,
Yeah.
you know, for me. And it was like, for me, I was like, oh my God, why didn't I do it sooner? Like I had this much anxiety, like thinking about how I would fail that I didn't even try. But then now that it's over with, I'm just kicking myself in the head for not doing it sooner, like, you know. And then literally the month after I got my license, Jonathan gets traded.
Oh my, it was that soon, right?
It was
Yeah,
like
it was
2 months
Oh my
or
gosh.
something. It was like right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not meant to
It
be
was
right
not
now.
meant to be right now. And it's like very hard to become a realtor in a state you're not in. Like, you know, there is ways to do it. But then I'm in Dallas. I have no childcare because we're only there for 4 or 5 months. I had no childcare. I had her 24/7, 7 days a week. Like, you know,
It's a lot.
it was a lot. It was a lot.
In a new place,
In a
trying
new
to figure
place.
everything out.
Well, not new to me, but new with a baby.
Yeah.
It was very difficult.
New
and then,
as a family.
new as a family, and he's at work all the time, you know. It's just me and her. Whew, yeah. But then now we're back. So, but now I'm like focused on the wedding. So it's like, okay, I'll just wait my turn. You know, we are building our forever home in Michigan. So planning on him retiring also. Sorry, Cowboys Nation, but I need my man. I'm pulling a Giselle. I need him at home. So yeah, so once we get there, hopefully I could flourish a little more. But it's my goal. Like I've always had it, and you know, hindsight, it's always there. But right now, I'm gonna enjoy my little girl and, you know, being the homemaker.
Yeah.
And teach her things.
Yep.
And I do teach her things, you know, that's very like important for me that one, she knows both sides of her cultures. You know, it's very important for me to like speak to her positively. I don't want to ever like be the mom that loses her cool, you know, which there are times like that it happens, but it's not my goal. Like I don't want to traumatize her in any way. And that's my biggest anxiety is traumatizing her. Like, I don't know. I want to be a good mom.
You're a great teacher. You're a great mom.
You're so patient with her.
I think I could just talk to her like she's my friend. She will.
Yeah.
It's better than like, you know, being negative. I don't want that.
Yeah, you just have to, well, going back to everything we're talking about, empower her, right?
Yeah, empowering
Yeah.
her for sure.
Teach her who she is from a young age. And that's the thing that, you know, really I think a lot of mothers can put some effort into focusing on, like
Yeah.
empowering young women.
No, definitely. I think there's a lot of negative out there. A lot of negative. Like, social media, like, honestly, you could choose to be negative or you could choose to see the light in people. And, yeah, everyone should change their energy to, you know, exude good.
Yes.
I definitely think it's just healthier for everyone. Have better, but you know, that's like, okay, I'm gonna wish that, but is it really gonna happen?
No, because everybody has to put you through these little tests nowadays.
Yep.
Testing.
Isn't that the most annoying?
It is kind of annoying.
That game you have to play when you meet somebody. Oh, I can't text back too fast. Or like, what are all these rules? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I had
I don't follow
customer from one of the businesses was being derogatory about the name of one of my businesses, and then so I wrote, this whole message about what it meant to me. Like, oh, okay. And then they took down their comment, but then they were like, can you delete your comment because it has my name in it? I was like responding to you. And I was like, I was responding to you. They're like, well, yeah, I deleted mine because, I liked what you said. I was like, oh, I passed your test? Thank you, stranger. Yeah. I'm glad I was able to pass your test.
It's the audacity for me.
It's just so ridiculous. Like, I don't know. We shouldn't be expecting others to prove themselves to us all the time, right?
Yeah.
Get a little ego strength. Like,
I don't know. I think all that, I feel like a lot of the ignorance in the world is just too much for me to think about, where it stems from, or your own childhood traumas. It really does carry on in life, but you could choose to live in your trauma, or you could choose to live in happiness. So I choose happiness. Yeah.
We all choose happiness.
Yes. That's why we're here today.
That's why we're
happiness. Yeah, and we're friends. What are some of your favorite places to travel to? Let's speak on a lighter note.
Oh man,
it's kind of heavy.
Tati is the
Travel queen.
I do love to travel.
She does.
I wish I could just travel all day long.
I know.
My favorite. Well, I haven't traveled a ton of places, but
that's a lie.
More than the average, I would say.
My favorite place, the place I keep going back to, is Italy. There's something about it. It's so funny. Every year, I feel like I just spoke. I'm sorry. Every year, as summer starts to roll back around, Joe and I go, okay, where should we go this year? And we're like, okay. We always say we have to go somewhere new, and then at the end of it, somehow we always fall back on Italy. And we're like, there's just something about it. So the other day, we're like, can we just come to an agreement where we just know that that's where our summer vacation is every year now? It's not up for discussion anymore.
You found your place.
We found our place. Although, last year we went to southern France for the first time, and I'm kind of obsessed with that. It was, I will be the first to admit, I can be very bougie.
You
I enjoy
the
a little
finer
upscale
things in life.
moment. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. And it is, I don't know, southern France is just the most glamorous, beautiful, delicious little treat and slice of heaven. It's so much fun. It's such a party vibe, but it's relaxing at the same time. Everything is beautiful and gorgeous and just so well thought out, and I don't know, it's giving Southern Italy a run for its money. Although I'm now obsessed with this hotel in Tuscany that I want to go to. But this year it was just out of the question, because by the time I looked things up, it was just like the $6,000 a night rooms left, and I was like, that is not happening.
No, I think...
But this place is called Borgo Santo Pietro in Tuscany. I think I sent it to you.
Yes.
It looks like this.
Jonathan stayed there before.
Has he?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God, I've had to ask him about it. It's so
it has
beautiful.
the tall palm trees on the...
It's like a whole drive-in, yeah.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
He stayed there. And that's where he wanted to take me for our honeymoon, but we're not going there.
We're not talking about that anymore.
We're not talking about that. Anyway, he didn't have a great time last time he was there, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like I feel Italy is the place.
I've never been to Italy.
I've never been either, but that is a dream place that you're very blessed that you've been to.
I thank you.
I lived through you that whole time you were in Saint Tropez and south of France. I loved it.
You know what my ultimate goal is? We should do this together. And I always see every time we go to Europe, there is always a group of friends or a group of family doing this, where they just get a yacht together for a week, 2 weeks, and they just travel around on this yacht and they sail up and down the coast.
Honey, we need yacht money, honey. Well, how much do you think that is?
5-10 couples. Are we saying numbers? We're not going to talk numbers. But
the numbers are astronomical.
5-10 couples. We can make it happen. You have your own chef.
We're on the show.
You have your own chef.
You have
a Tati's vacation.
This sounds like
the people
Below
can't
Deck.
relate.
Isn't that a show on Bravo or something? Below Deck, where they are chartering yachts all around the world.
My girlfriend Andy did a bunch of the cast members' teeth on that show, so maybe we can work out a deal.
Work something out.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Tati, we're not there yet. Just
let
our investments pay off a little bit.
I don't know.
We need a few years years for the investments to take off.
We'll wait.
Our hotels to
5-year
get
goal.
booked.
5-year goal.
It's important to set goals.
Very goal. Very good.
What is happening with your guys' hotel?
We're breaking ground end of May.
Oh my gosh.
On our first one in Idaho at Yellowstone. So stay tuned for that. I think we'll have a little episode of that day. So yeah, I was very excited. And honestly, this kind of just like fell into our lap. Not that it fell into our lap. There was, of course, a lot of behind the scene like work that went to it, but I never expected it. You know, I never expected to say, oh, we're like part owners of a big name hotel chain.
So exciting.
It's very different. Yeah, I'm very proud of Jonathan and his endeavors and his ethics on actually going through with something like this. So it's exciting.
It is.
I love it.
I think in a lot of ways, you and Jonathan meeting was meant to be for both of you, because I think people in his world often meet people who are looking to maybe take advantage, use them, maybe really kind of live in that moment, whereas you guys have really partnered together and have said, okay, look, it's great now, but how are we going to build on this?
Yeah,
and how are we going to invest?
I just want to help him grow.
Yeah.
Financially, as a human, mentality-wise, he's helped me grow. I just want to do the same for him. And I had this mentality from my parents, like immigrant parents that had nothing when they came here, and they provided a stable home for our family. No matter how unconventional it was, they still provided for their kids. They put us through school and, have 3 successful siblings. I'm on my way. Not there yet, or I'm getting there. I'm close, But I think I always had an interest in real estate. And for Jonathan, he's always known that football does come to an end. He does have a sense of entrepreneurship. So I think both of us together, I kind of helped him realize he is capable of more than just football. He could be a mogul if he chose to go this route, or he could just, wait till football's over to figure out what he wants to do. But he had that drive in him that he wanted to. He wanted to see this through, and I think we're building a pretty good portfolio, a good real estate portfolio. So I don't know. I have a lot of hope for our future, and I see it clearly.
For being so young, you guys are making smart moves.
Yes. Very smart.
Because a lot of people come into money early in life and just kind of blow it on the wrong things.
Yeah.
But I think
trust me, we have. And now we're redirecting it. We had the fun with that.
But yet we can't go on the yacht.
If you really want to, we could, but he and I will have to have a meeting about that one.
Have you seen that movie, Couples Retreat?
Yes.
You know when there's that couple that comes with a PowerPoint to everything?
Yeah.
That'll be me and Joe.
You and
That would be her.
This is what's happening.
Yes. It's so funny. It is.
All the activities arranged.
Yeah, honestly, we had yoga night at your house, and I was just like, this girl, you are exquisite. That's like an understatement. I was just so blown away by your taste, and oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I love it.
We got to do
Your
our Italy
inspiration.
night next.
We do have to plan Italy night.
Did we tell you about this?
No, she didn't. She couldn't hear the conversation. I don't think the other night at the lounge.
Yeah. So we're thinking for our next night, we should do an Italian themed night.
Ooh.
With lemons.
Yeah. So this all started by Mahsa sending me this reel on Instagram about this woman making. Do you remember those drinks we had at Cipriani's?
Scorpino.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
With the lemony slushy type thing. So she sent me a video of this woman making something similar that looked so delicious.
It's like
and we're
limoncello.
we need an excuse to make these and have them.
I like limoncello.
I don't like cream and
I don't like
other
other
flavor.
lemon things.
You don't?
You know what I think about lemon flavor is that one hard candy that's like, what is it?
Lemon heads?
Lemon heads.
Oh, I don't like those.
Yeah.
You like those?
No, I don't.
No,
That's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
like
I have
those.
bad experience. I think that I'm traumatized by that taste. So I feel like if I try anything lemon, it's gonna give that flavor, but I've been shocked
Yeah?
by limoncello. I do like limoncello, so
I feel like we should have some now. I should have brought some.
should have brought some.
So we're thinking we should have an event where we can all get together. We can make these drinks. The men should all dress as gondoliers with the
They would
striped
not.
shirts.
We
with the
couldn't
hats
even
and the
get them
mustache.
to wear a shirt that would match.
Timmy, would you do that? Would you wear the
No.
gondolier outfit?
I know Jonathan would. After what happened on Valentine's
Was
Day.
that Valentine's
That
Day?
was
Oh my
Valentine's
gosh.
Day.
We
Fail.
tried to secretly dress them. Secrets out. And they ironically all dressed the same, but not what we chose.
No, literally,
So wild.
this is how it happened. I don't know. We were in a group message. We're like, let's buy them the same shirt like that TikTok.
It was a Tati
they-
idea.
They all.
It was a joint
I think
idea.
it was a joint idea. They like would pop up in the same shirt and it'd be like hilarious, right? So we're like, what shirt can we buy that they could all fit? One, because we have a couple of D linemen in this group, and they would like. And we could say it's like Valentine's Day to try to convince them to wear this shirt.
Oh yeah, that's why it was pink.
Yeah, it was like a pinkish, purplish,
Mauve-y.
Short sleeve. Yeah.
short sleeve button up. And I'm like, oh, babe, I got you a shirt. And I was so convinced that Jonathan would go for it. I was like, oh, out of all the guys, he would be like, yeah, I'm going to wear it.
He was the first one
And
to
he
shut
was
it
the
down.
first one to shut it down. He's like, I'm not wearing that. He's like, why do you want me to wear this? Are you doing that TikTok thing? I was like,
called it out
he
really
called
quickly.
it. He really knew, like, right away. I was like, dang. So I was like, guys, this is a no-go. It's not happening over here. But
And then they all show up in black turtlenecks.
yeah, they
and
all
jackets.
wore black
Yeah, they
anyway.
really did. That was
yeah,
so
including Timmy, our camera guy. He was supposed to wear the button-up. I think you were going to, right? Yeah, he was going to. And everyone else ruined it.
Also, matching their styles is tough.
Yeah.
Because like some of the guys like t-shirts, Joe is super preppy and likes
Yeah,
like,
Joe
you
is
know,
preppy.
Timmy's a nice blend of everything. So matching that was a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
But
No, it was
maybe,
hard.
But maybe if they all know it's a themed party, then
That's
they'll do
not
it.
fun anymore. It's fun surprising.
So Joe doesn't know this. I hope he can't hear because the guys are in the other room. So for his medical school graduation's in a few days. Joe has a very prominent mustache, if you know my husband.
Yes.
So I bought everybody who's coming stick-on mustaches. And it's like the really full one. Let me see, like his, and it's so ridiculous looking. I think all the
That's so
family's going to
funny.
veto it, but I'm going to have to push really hard to make this happen. And I have to show you guys this. It is so funny. My reception sucks here, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Do you need to connect to the
in
Wi-Fi?
the mountains.
Oh, you know what? I took a screenshot of it last night.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, by the way, you guys want to see the funniest pictures of Joe ever?
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, there goes Joe's mustache. But congratulations, Joe, on graduating medical school. He's going to be
Thank you.
an internal medicine doctor.
Family medicine.
Family medicine.
Yes.
Oh, just kidding. Family medicine. Oops. Same
Pretty much the same thing, honestly, different settings, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit different. But yeah, family doctor. He's going to be like a
He's going to do concierge care
concierge
also,
care.
yeah.
Cheers.
Love
We'll be
it.
neighbors.
A family of
Family
concierge.
business. Yeah.
That's awesome. So yeah, look forward to that. Look forward to Dr. Tatovic, Pelosian's
Thank you.
new beautiful dental office.
By the way, I don't know when this is airing, but I haven't even announced that yet.
Just kidding.
No, it's okay.
We'll just edit it out.
We'll announce it within the month, so it'll be okay.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
Timmy, space it up. And then my beautiful friend Alex here, she has her own practice. So if you need any type of therapy, where can they reach you at?
www.cerebralperformancecounseling.com.
And if you need dental care, you could reach Dr. Tatovic at
drtati.com or Instagram or...
Yep, we'll link it below.
I think I need to come see you, honestly.
I need to come see you.
I can't see you. We're friends, but we can hang.
Okay, just kidding.
Yeah, she can't see friends, unfortunately. But yeah, and then you tune in to our channel, subscribe and like, comment. Let us know if you liked our show today and what you want to see next, what topics we should discuss. Yeah, so excited for this. Love you
Good
guys.
introduction. Great
That was a
start.
great intro.
Thanks for
Thanks,
putting
you
this
guys, for
together,
watching.
for having us.
Yeah, it was exciting. We'll get better at it as
Yeah.
it goes. So sorry we're all over the place. But yeah, have a great day and see you next time.